So,
but do you find that you, as a black man living in Japan now, do you feel like you're treated any different compared to the United States? Better or worse? Walk me through that.
It's just a very different experience.
Okay, walk me through that.
It's a different experience because, in the States, oftentimes when you meet people, they're already kind of loaded with preconceptions of you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you meet people, they already have an idea of African Americanism, right? Like they already have ideas about what kind of things you like, or like how you're going to behave, or things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Japan, it isn't so much like black or white. It's just Japanese versus non-Japanese, right? Completely, right? So when people meet you, generally what they see is just a question mark. Like they look at you and they're just like, what is this thing? Can I trust it? Is it going to eat me? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And then you start talking to them in Japanese and they're like, oh, okay, he speaks Japanese. That's good.
It's like, okay, all right, he understands our politics.
Exactly, right? And then after a while, people will kind of chill out, right? But generally, there are some people who've had really nasty experiences with foreigners, so they really don't like foreign people and they don't trust foreign people. There's other people that think foreign people are really fun because we're way more open and way more direct than Japanese people. Generally, communication in Japan is very indirect. And
Really?
It's all about kind of reading between the lines when you talk to people. Which actually kind of it suits my personality well.
Oh.
So that's one of the things that I actually like about Japan. Is the fact that there's a lot of emphasis on social harmony. So generally people are never really in your face about things,
So you feel like you're not necessarily treated like better or worse. You just feel like the preconceived notions, which to me is better, preconceived notions don't really exist the way that they do in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, they do because people watch American TV and things like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, American media goes everywhere in the world. So, but it's just to a far, far, far less degree.
And then you feel like the lesser degree that it exists in Japan has a tremendous impact on how you're treated as opposed to what you would have been treated like in Detroit.
The nice thing is that it allows me to fill in those blanks myself. Because people see you as just an empty cup. They don't know what you are when they meet you, right? So basically, instead of having to fight against stereotypes or kind of rewire people's thinking about you, they have no conception of you. So you get to build your own conception among the people that they get to know you, right? So, and with Japanese people, the most important thing is just that you speak Japanese very well. If you speak Japanese really well, then they're really relaxed. If you don't, then then for them it's a lot more uncomfortable. I mean, there's people that like speaking English too.
Yeah.
So for those guys, they're just happy to have people to speak English too. But for the Japanese people who don't speak English, the big thing is that if you speak very good Japanese, especially like really like polite Japanese, because in Japan, like politeness is everything.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Super, super, super important. So if you speak very, very polite Japanese, then that automatically puts you at a higher bar than everybody who doesn't, regardless of race.
Right? I'm going to tell you something that's borderline controversial, right?
Okay.
So amongst my peers, everybody's going to slam me in the comments. I don't give a damn. I don't like to use the precursor black or identify myself as black this, black that. Right? Mm-hmm. When somebody sees me and they want me to identify another person, I'll never say the black guy over there or the black woman over there. Right? Mm-hmm. I try to use other things about them that are characteristically appropriate to who they are and so on and so forth to identify that person. Because I'll never say, I'm the black guy that does bop, 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 bop. Right? The reason why I don't do that is when we're describing ourselves based on these Crayola colors, I call it, right? Mm-hmm. White guy, black guy. You know what I mean? I think we're diffusing the individuality that comes from that person. Like you mentioned, you get to fill in your own gaps in Japan, whereas in the United States, you don't, right? So in the United States, if you say you're a black guy, whether you know it or not, there's all these ideas about who you potentially are before you even get a chance to speak.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's really problematic, and a lot of people deal with it in different ways. Some people are like, oh, I'm proud to be black, this, that, and the third. And I don't want people to think like, oh, I'm not proud to be such and such, but like, my proudness doesn't come from the amount of melanin that comes in my skin, right? My proudness comes from, you know, the tremendous amount of things that me and my family and my culture, because I'm not originally from the United States. Nobody knows that. They just see a color. They think I'm African American or whatever, when in reality, my culture is from a different country. Okay. But I like the idea of, you know, people filling in their gaps, or the gaps about what people don't know about themselves versus other people using the media, other people just creating this aggregate of like, okay, everybody who looks like this likes these things. And I don't subscribe to that. And I like the fact that you in Japan, you get to speak your own voice about who you are as a person, rather than trying to like, you know, fight some stereotype that is so abundant, such as the United States.
Exactly.
And I think that's phenomenal. But okay, so you're saying people don't steal. Do you feel like you have any type of like interaction with the police that's different in Japan compared to United States? Yeah,
but because to be honest, you know, I mean, I do, like if I'm on a bicycle, the police will stop me and be like, yeah, we just want to check and make sure that this is your bicycle.
Really?
That does happen. Yeah.
Wait, okay, hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's happening because of what they think you are based on what you look like? Or do you think it's happening because they like to do those random checks?
It could be either or, you know? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I get pulled over a lot.
Do you?
You know what I mean? Like I have that feeling, but like the thing is like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because of stereotypes, or I don't know if it's just because they're just doing it to everybody, you know? So it could be either way. But really? I mean, the nice thing is that the police are always very, very, very polite here. They're extremely polite. So, okay. And to be honest, in the States, I didn't really have bad experiences with police officers either. They were always really nice guys.
Okay.
You know, I know a lot of African Americans have had really, really nasty interactions with the police. I never did. So I can't necessarily say that I had a bad experience with police in the States either.
Okay.
But I do get, you know, stopped for things. If to me, it feels like a lot, but again, it might just be because I'm sensitive.